Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this cute little holiday funfetti cake. It was inspired by the Christmas tree Little Debbie's. So the first thing you're going to do is mix up your cake mix. So I just have the regular Christmas funfetti cake mix, and I am just mixing that up according to the package directions. I used 2 boxes of this, but I just did it in 2 separate batches because I only had 2 pans because I could not find my 3rd pan, but whatever. So I'm just baking this at 350 until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. And in the meantime, I am going to start my icing. So in this bowl, I have some egg whites and sugar. I just have this over a double boiler, and I'm going to mix it until all the sugar dissolves. Then I'm going to transfer that into my stand mixer and whip it until it is room temperature. You're going to whip it for probably like 20 minutes. They say you can speed this process up by putting like an ice pack around the bottom of the bowl, whatever, to cool it down. But this is what it should look like after it is cooled and it has whipped for long enough. It's going to be glossy and shiny and kind of look like marshmallow fluff. After this is ready to go, you're just going to switch to your paddle attachment and you're going to start mixing in your butter. So you're going to add butter to your mixer while it's running, about a tablespoon at a time. You want to wait until the butter is completely incorporated into your fluff before you add more butter. After you get it all mixed in, this is what it should look like. It kind of has a yellow tinge to it, but that's just because we used an entire pound of butter for this batch of icing. Now we're going to add in some vanilla extract. You can use pure. I always just buy the imitation, so I use a little more than the recipe calls for. And then we're going to separate this into 2 bowls. I'm going to keep some in my stand mixer, and I'm going to put the other in a bowl over to the side, and I'm going to start coloring the icing. I want to do some white and some red because I'm going for Christmas vibes here. This kind of buttercream is called a Swiss meringue buttercream, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but you could do this with an American buttercream, which is just what you make with the Crisco, the butter, and powdered sugar. But I know that the inside of those Christmas tree cakes are kind of fluffy, so I wanted to have a fluffier icing, and I just felt like this texture was going to be better for the cake. You could do some of the icing green if you wanted to do red and green on the outside, but I decided to go with the red and white because I was going to add a green white chocolate drizzle. So I'm just adding red food coloring straight into my mixer until it is the color that I like. And now we're going to start putting our cake together. So we're going to just spread some of the white icing onto our cake, top it with the next layer, and repeat that again. Just spread some icing on there. And then we're going to top it with our last layer that we are going to place upside down so we have a smoother surface. Now I'm going to go in and crumb coat the cake to seal in any crumbs so that our final coat is clean. If it's easier for you, you can pop this into the refrigerator after you do the crumb coat, and then after about 10 minutes, you can go back and start your final coat of icing. Since I was doing 2 different colors, I put my icing into piping bags and I just piped the icing onto the cake where I would like it. I was kind of going for stripes here, so I just repeated that process until the entire cake was covered. Next, I just took my offset spatula and smoothed out all the creases from where the icings were meeting each other. And I just repeated this process until the cake was as smooth as I wanted it to be. Another trick you can do here is run some hot water over your offset spatula, and that will kind of melt the butter in the icing and it will make it smoother. So here I have some heavy cream I just popped into the microwave to microwave until it came up to a boil. I'm going to pour that over my white chocolate chips, add in some green food coloring, and give it a mix. Now, the wise thing to do would be to let this sit for a little while before you drizzle it on your cake, just because it's pretty thin when it is warm. But I was just trying to get this cake done because I had another cake that I had to do this night. So I just went with it, and it dripped very fast, kind of made a little bit of a mess, but it was good in the end. So I'm going to add some colorful sprinkles around the bottom. These are just a Christmas mix of sprinkles that I got at Aldi, and I just put those around the base of the cake, and then I'm going to put a little more of that green white chocolate drizzle stuff on top so that my little Christmas tree cakes will stick. I'm using the rest of my red icing to create a border around the top of the cake. This would be much prettier if I had a piping tip at home, but I did not, and I forgot to bring one home from work. So I'm just putting some sprinkles on top, and then I'm going to add my Christmas tree cakes, and that is it. I brought this cake to a family gathering, and everybody loved it. It was so festive and so cute. But I just thought I would share this with you in case you need to bring a sweet to a family dinner. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas. If you like content like this, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you here, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.